What's going on, everybody? My name's Victor, and I just want to tell you guys that I came in second place in the Black with No Cream Dutch Bros video contest. Super exciting. Yeah, sure, it's not first place, but being recognized as number 2 in a national competition, that alone is exciting. And then Dutch Bros later hit me up and asked me what my shirt size was. They're gonna send me some merch, so that's actually coming today. And I was looking at the shipping confirmation. Whew, lots of stuff, like $400 worth of stuff. They're sending me 14 bags of coffee. Does coffee go bad? How long does it take to go bad? I don't know. I'm super grateful for them, and just grateful for Black with No Cream and Dutch Bros in general for the opportunity. Just freaking cool competition. But today I just wanted to share with you some of the behind the scenes in the filming and editing process that I went through that got me to second place, that you might get a kick out of, especially if you're a video creator. If you haven't seen my video submission yet, here it is.
Warning, security breach.
Alright, so let's get into the biggest part of the video, and that is the UFO. Now, when I had this concept, the UFO started like this, and I turned it into this. It's kind of a big difference. I had a little bit of time before I planned on shooting the video, so I knew I wanted to do an Area 51 shoot, and I started scouring the internet for UFO tutorials, and surprisingly, there was not a lot that suited my needs. You would get some that were like the District 9, I believe the movie name is. Those UFOs, like big, huge, massive, like stations they look like. But I want a classic flying saucer, and I don't want it to look cheesy. I want it to look as real and believable as possible. I could only find one that kind of helped me, and that came from Film Riot. You probably have heard of them if you watch video tutorials on creating videos. But anyway, they helped me animate the ring flying around the flying saucer, and I'm gonna link that down below in the comments, the link to that tutorial if you want to check that out for yourself. Anyways, we're gonna jump into Premiere, and I'm gonna show you my original concept before I even filmed the video, so I could kind of get an idea of what it's gonna look like and whether or not it's gonna be corny. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So basically, the things that I downloaded were this UFO, super basic, just found it online, and then a very pixelated warehouse right here. And I also went onto a website called Giphy to find a red siren that would play, because I wanted to see if whether or not that would be cheesy, and turns out it was super cheesy. This is what I developed. Got the audio, there's the UFO, and I was like, okay, I could potentially work with that. So you're probably wondering how I took this UFO to the left and turned it into the right one and animated it to have that glow going across it. You take the UFO and you mask out dots going all the way across where that light would be showing, and then create a color matte right here. That's the color that I chose. So after you're done masking the UFO, you also mask a quick path for your color matte, and I will show you right now. This is my mask, and it changes in path and in size as it goes around. And if you don't mask out that path, this is what it's gonna look like. If I hide that mask right there, you've just got this entire color going across. So you need to mask both the UFO and the path of the light. Once you get that pattern, you create a gap, and then you put it on again, and then again, and then again, for the duration of your UFO. That way it looks a little more animated. And sorry for the quality, I've got it on quarter quality just so it actually plays through. Okay, so you're probably wondering why the UFO that I started with is a different color than the UFO that I ended with. And that's because I added a tint and then a little bit of a color grade to it using RGB curves. The reason I did that was because I wanted it to look like only moonlight was shining off of it and not some harsh direct light. Go to the UFO that I started with, and then I added RGB curves right here, and you can see the difference if you watch over here when I toggle this on and off, how I just made it a little bit darker with the simple S curve down here. So then we go back, and then you can see that I added a tint here, and I used the map white to this dark gray color. And the reason I did that was because when you look at the original UFO, you know, there's a lot of white and silver looks on it. So I wanted this dark gray effect. So go back to the effect controls, and then you will see what it looks like before. Yeah. And then as soon as you map your white to that certain color, it will go darker. You can change the amount of tint right here to fit your look, but I liked it at 100%. And so that is how I got that UFO. So when I was editing the UFO's movements, one of the things I really wanted to do to make it look more natural, even though I'm sure most of us haven't seen a UFO, but natural to what our brains would imagine it would do, is so when it shoots up, whoa, like those sound effects, I want it to bob up and down, because otherwise it just goes up and it just seems fake for it to just hover exactly in one spot and not have any sort of movement involved. You can see that I did that, and you know, that just has to do with keyframing your position and just kind of working a little bob into it. So one of the other things I wanted to do was make sure that the UFO was a little blurry, because my camera was focused on the bottle itself. So if it's focused on that, then just because of the bokeh, you won't be able to see a lot of what's in the background. It's blurry. You can tell that Area 51, that warehouse that I shot at, is blurry. And so I want to make sure that the UFO was close to as blurry, and that would help me mask the fact that it's obviously not a real UFO. And then I also wanted to, when it takes off, add a little bit of directional blur onto it. You can use Gaussian blur to just blur the UFO in general, and then use some directional blur when you want to shoot it. And then you can just play around with the dials from there. I can't stress this part enough. The sound design is so important. I was on Epidemic Sound for a long time, listening to all these alien and UFO soundtracks, sci-fi effects #1, sci-fi effects #2. Like, I went through a ton of sound effects, and I think it's the majority of what sold the video, because I could have done the same idea without making a UFO, but it's the audio that really makes you feel like you're there. And if you listen to it on good speakers and you close your eyes, you can see exactly what's happening just because of the audio. I got all my sound effects from Epidemic Sound, video subscription service, not sponsored, wish it was, but it's $15 a month. Super cheap, but you get royalty-free stuff. So if you haven't looked into that, you should if you're making videos. One of the last things that really helped me sell that there is actually a UFO right there was the fact that I threw on some light effects when it came up, it's a little anamorphic flare. They were a darker blue, and then I changed the color of it from there to a more teal look, because I thought that looked better, more alien-like. And then I also threw in some VHS glitches that I got from Tropic Color. If you're interested in LUTs, presets, templates, anything like that that will help your video, you can use my code BigVicMedia20, shameless plug. Still not sponsored, but I do get a little kickback if you do use my code. Yeah, they've got light effects on there. They've got VHS static effects that I was using, because I imagine if I actually saw a UFO in real life, I feel like it would have enough power or different energy, magnetic source to mess up my electronics. So I felt like that would make sense. And then I wanted a generator when I was first planning this video, but no one had one. So I couldn't use the fog machine, hold over the cup and blast it with fog when the UFO decides to levitate it up into the sky. So I was like, well, this kind of sucks. I was like, there's probably something online. So I found some actually pretty good free fog overlays online at premiumbeat.com. All you gotta do is type in free fog overlays, and that should be one of the first links on there. But they've got like 21 different fog overlays, and then I also saw dust on there, and then I saw light rays on there. I was like, oh my god, perfect. It's all free. It's all meant to be. It's really helping me sell the fact that this thing's getting levitated up. And so I downloaded all those packs. I use them to help make my video more believable. All right, so let's talk location and gear. So I found some warehouses in town, went there, threw the cup on the ground, set up the lights, and I had one light to the left of me that had 2 sheets of diffusion over it. It was turned on, but the intensity was very low, and that was acting as my moonlight. And so you can see in the video that there's just a slight glow to everything, so emulating a full moon, and I want the Dutch Bros logo to be able to be seen the entire time. And to the right of me, I've got my other LED panel light, and it's pointing straight down, and I turn it on right when I want the UFO to be above me. So I had my camera sitting on the ground pointing towards the Dutch Bros cup with my wallet under the lens propping it up because my lens is a little big, it would just knock over my camera otherwise. Ended up losing my wallet in the desert, retraced my steps, I got it, we're all good. But now let's discuss how I made the cup levitate. My original idea, and it ended up working with a little bit of editing magic, was using fishing line, tying fishing line to both ends of the cup and then pulling it up to make it look like it's being abducted by the UFO. My only problem with it was that when I watched it back, you can see the fishing line. I was a little worried that you were going to be able to, but I was relying on masking, and if I had to, I'd go into After Effects and use content aware fill. But I just masked it. We're gonna hop back into Premiere and I'm gonna show you really quick how I did that. Okay, so here is the original clip of the bottle. After the light has turned on, you can clearly see the fishing line right there poking up. And the way that I got rid of it was I layered another clip of just the desert shot right here. So if I cover up this one and I uncover this one, you can see I animated a mask to carry up and over the bottle as it levitates, because you can see it clearly here. It's being pulled up by the fishing line, but with the mask, you can no longer see it. And that is how I worked around that. And the last thing, after the mug levitates up, whoo, my Dutch Bros is here right now. Let's go get it. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Woo, man, I'm feeling like a famous YouTuber right now, jeez. Woo. See what's in here. Sorry, this video just turned into unpackaging and not so much a tutorial. Alright, looks like the hoodie's right here. Jesus. If you could smell the aroma in here right now, if you love coffee, look at this sweet mug. I think this is the Blood Tiger shirt. See a little tiger imprint right there? That's gonna be freaking sweet. A new cup. This thing's heavy duty. Here's my French press. That'll be pretty cool. Never used one, gonna have to learn how. And here is the Drink More Dutch Bros tie-dye shirt. It's gonna be pretty sweet. It's getting cold now, so I need another long shirt. And then I kid you not, the rest is just coffee. A lot of coffee. Holy cow. We left off on the logo. I've seen past winners do pretty creative things with the logo, and I knew that I was going to have to do something too and really step it up. So I found Video Copilot's tutorial in the rabbit hole of YouTube, and it was like this digital glitch effect that I hadn't really been done before. And my final result was a little bit different than theirs, because they tell you like towards the end that you can make like these little adjustments or find out, you know, your taste. And so I started adjusting certain things. I made it glitch up so that it would look like it's getting abducted too, with the cup in a colorful fashion and Dutch Bros style. So I will link that tutorial down below too. But yeah, those are some of the biggest steps that I took into making that video, and that's kind of how it all came together. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you got something from it, or at least a kick out of seeing what kind of work goes into some of the things that I'm doing. And that 20-something second video took like 3 days to make. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, the whole shebang, and I will see you in the next one.